Did Hendrick just get caught cheating? And we add another ringer to the group at COTA. Let's talk about it. Coming up next. What's going on? Hope everybody's doing good today. All right, Hendrick Motorsports might be looking at a possible infraction for, well, the hood louvers. Let's take a look at this tweet from Bob Pockrass. NASCAR took the louvers from 4 Hendrick cars for further evaluation. They were allowed to replace the louvers. Any penalties would be announced next week. He would then later tweet, correction, NASCAR saw something in the Hendrick louvers that could be a possible issue before practice. Officials are always looking in the cars, in garages, but they didn't take them from Hendrick until after the practice. So there you go. This could be a similar situation to what RFK faced last season, but just in case you don't know what part we're talking about right here, let's take a look at what these hood louvers are from Bozy Tatarovic. As you can see, he says there, the louvers are the pieces on the hood that the radiator ducts exhaust air through. So those would be the green pieces, and the reason there are 3 different ones is each manufacturer has a different style louver. So that is the part that Hendrick Motorsports has possibly, or at least is being accused of manipulating. Like they said, they will not announce anything until next week. But should this be something that they did manipulate, we already have precedent for what the penalty could be, right? I mentioned RFK earlier, just a few seconds ago. RFK got that 100-point penalty. They got smacked early on. Brad Keselowski really never came back from that as the season went on. So if they get the same penalty, would it be across all of the cars that was on there? We also saw last season, I think at Pocono, the Joe Gibbs cars, they got caught with the tape underneath the wrap on the nose of the car. They got the wind taken away from them there, and that was essentially the penalty that was given out there. Since this, obviously, they wouldn't be able to take the wind away because they've already found it before they went through tech or anything like that, found it in the garage before they even hit the track, let them practice with it, and then took it. So they would probably be looking at the RFK penalty of 100 points. Would this be 100 points on all 4 of the Hendrick cars? That would be my question. Now, this wouldn't really affect Chase Elliott because he's not driving, so it wouldn't affect his driver points, but it would affect the owner points for that number 9 car. The number 9 car, of course, will be running different owner points than driver points because Chase Elliott missed those races. And, of course, we won't find out whether or not he gets the waiver until after he's medically cleared, in case you missed that episode the other day. But if this is a 100-point penalty for all 4 Hendrick cars, that is going to be serious. Also, if Hendrick does not get a penalty for this, there are going to be a lot of people up in arms like, hey, Toyota and Joe Gibbs have gotten a huge penalty for modifying parts. RFK, Brad Keselowski, they've gotten, I think, 2 huge penalties. I remember the one earlier in the season, and I think they challenged or whatever the other penalty. I can't remember if they won that or not, but they definitely had at least one where they lost 100 points. So Brad Keselowski was really affected by that last year. Of course, it wouldn't matter, I guess, if all the Hendrick cars get wins this season. William Byron already locked in, so he's good to go. But this is going to be huge because if it comes out that they modified a part and they don't get a penalty, all the Toyota fans, all the Ford fans are going to be up in arms because RFK got smacked and Joe Gibbs Racing got smacked. So I fully expect Hendrick Motorsports to get smacked as well. And of course, Hendrick Motorsports has a long history of pushing the limits with, as far back as Ray Evernham and probably before him. And of course, Cheatin' Chad Knaus. So this is not anything new, but it looks like they have been caught. But it's going to be interesting to see if NASCAR deems this an actual infraction and actually penalizes them, or if they let them get away with it and just let them sort of ride on. Either way, it's going to be a huge story, and fans are going to be, they're going to feel some kind of way about it one way or another. All right, last episode, of course, I talked about Jordan Taylor joining the group for COTA. He, of course, will be filling in for Chase Elliott there. Then, of course, we've got the Project 91 car with Kimi Räikkönen in it. And, well, you can add, and Connor Daly too with the money team, and now you can add another name to that list, another F1 former world champion in Jenson Button. He will be running the number 15 for Rick Ware Racing, and before you roll your eyes and say Rick Ware Racing, he already has Mobil 1 on the side of that car, which leads me to believe he will probably get the Stewart-Haas setup like some other drivers that have driven that 15 car have gotten. So I think, and this hasn't really been confirmed or anything like that, I'm pretty sure he will get the Stewart-Haas setup. He will get Stewart-Haas equipment. They will just run under the Rick Ware number. So he will probably have a pretty good car to show what he can do. But now we've got 2 former F1 world champions in there, and we've got a sports car champion, and we've got Connor Daly, an open wheel guy. So it's going to be really interesting group of ringers. And of course, some people actually don't like the ringers. They say they could affect the points and things like that. But I think most people are excited to have some ringers in there. But let me know down in the comments down below. Do you want to see the ringers in there? Are you excited for them, or would you rather not see ringers in the Cup Series? Let me know down in the comments. All right, that is all I got for you on this one. I'm on my way to Kinley, as we call it here, or Southern National, as track promoters call it, to participate in the Cars Tour race. I will be helping Justin Whitaker on his pro late model. This will be my first attempt with a pro late model. Normally I'm just a regular late model guy when I'm helping people out. So that'll be interesting. Hopefully I'll learn a lot and can help them out. So look for us out there. Justin Whitaker is who I'll be rolling with if you're watching it on Flow Racing TV. All right. Other than that, thanks for your time. Peace. Feel free to subscribe if you want to, too. It helps out the channel. And if you're already subscribed, I appreciate you guys as well. All right, I'm really going now. Left hand, peace.